pull you down and I All right, we are back live at Pocono in the Radical SR8 series. Pardon any weirdness. The other race ran late, and here we are about to go wild. But with me for the moment is Chris Standridge, one of the admins for the Radical SR8 series, the Michael Grainold series, I should say. Now, obviously, we're going to have an exciting race here tonight at Pocono, but we want to talk about the banger race tomorrow night. What can you tell me about that?
Oh, that's gonna be exciting. Just wait. There's nothing like it. It's from England, and we made it our own.
Now, my understanding is 2 different car types and 3 car teams.
Yeah, you've got a rabbit and 2 bangers, and the rabbit is the scorer. That's the car that goes around. That's the car that can actually win the race. And then you've got 2 other cars, street stocks. Sorry, cars are wrecking in front of me. Anyway, you got two street stock cars that are their job is to either protect the banger or go out and take out the other rabbits, and it makes for some really interesting racing.
And I imagine it will be exciting. We'll talk about that more throughout the race. I know you've just got a few seconds left in practice, though, so I'll let you get back to it, man.
All right.
And good luck getting taking out Thanos tonight, by the way.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right. You heard from Chris Standridge. And in case you couldn't guess it from that, he is in the Ironman car tonight. And of course, let's see if Gerald Poole, he is not on track at the moment as he just finished his practice session. Just a few seconds left, so we're going to catch our breath. We will watch these guys qualify. Hopefully Chris will get back out on track for qualifying so we can watch that and we can get a good look at Ironman tonight. But Gerald Thanos Poole is on track. You've got Ironman on track. It will be quite a battle. Stay tuned for just a moment. We will stay live and watch these guys get their qualifying laps in. And you are looking at the front view of Chris's car. He's definitely wearing an interesting helmet, but if you couldn't tell, the front of his car is designed to look like Iron Man's helmet. Really cool feature he did just for this week. Alrighty. As these guys warm up, and you're seeing Chris Standridge, Iron Man, getting his qualifying laps completed. Let's see if Thanos has already been out or not. Looks like he might be out at the moment. Yeah, here comes Gerald Thanos Poole in his new Flaming Karma Thanos paint job. Let's take a look at that one real quick. And you can see he has collected all of his Infinity Stones. This could get interesting. As the production crew is laughing at me in the background. Now, they did do one race where we had a couple of these guys in super, or more than usual, but we've got Thanos, we've got Iron Man, and if Iron Man needs any help, that gentleman is all about truth and justice and the American way. It is Superman, Norman Chan. And of course, tonight we've got qualifying right now. Looks like the fastest qualifier so far is Tom Land, followed by Mark Belair. James Johnson's currently third. We'll see if Superman uses his super speed to get up to the front. No, so it looks like as qualifying wraps up, it's going to be Tom Land, Mark Belair, James Johnson, Gerald Thanos Poole, Christopher Rawlings is fifth, Matt Stewart, Chris Iron Man Standridge is seventh, Brian Mansfield is eighth, Edward Belair is ninth. Dwayne Kenner is 10th. Corey Goodall, Norman Chan, James Belair, Doug McLaughlin, and Doug Thomas round out your 15-car field here tonight. And as they finish up their qualifying, quick shout out to the sponsors of this series, MotoWear International and B-Make Designs. If you go check out both of those, B-Make Designs does some great graphic design work, and MotoWear International has some great gear. And a huge shout out, as always, to this entire league. The Outcast Independent League has 14 different series, including the two dirt series that run here on Monday nights, right here, broadcast live here on Facebook and Twitch. They are run the 305 winged sprints and followed immediately by the 358s. In fact, let's just go over the schedule for the week. So as you heard, tomorrow night is a special event. That is the Banger Race. That will be broadcast here. But on Sunday nights, we have the BRR Cup League. They run at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Monday night, we have the Outcast Dirt Boys and the 305s at 8:30 Eastern. The 358 mods are at 10 Eastern. And of course, we just completed the 7:30 Eastern race of the Northeast Racers. And now we are on to the Outcast Michael Grainold's SR8 series. And as always, a shout out to the Outcast guys. They do a lot of great stuff for charity. If you want to hear a little bit more about that, you can go listen to the podcast, the HTSAI podcast. We posted that Monday. It's there on Facebook. There's a link to it. And you can go listen to the interview with Chris Standridge talking about some of the charity stuff they do. In the meantime, let's catch our breath here real quick as these boys get ready to go around this 2.5-mile Pocono track called the Tricky Triangle because it is different and it's a triangle. Turn 1 is banked 14 degrees, turn 2 is 8 degrees, and turn 3 is 6 degrees. When they built the track, they were trying to bring some of the best elements from several different tracks together, and this is what they came up with. Turn 1 is meant to seem like the banking at Trenton. Turn 2 at 8 degrees is meant to be the tunnel turn like Indianapolis, and turn 3 at 6 degrees is a match to the Milwaukee Mile. They try to get the banking and the radius of these turns as close as possible to each other. As they finish up qualifying and get ready to go, looks like everybody is qualified, no big changes. Looks like Matt Stewart came in at 6th. Didn't mention him earlier. And other than that, everything is as we mentioned before. letting these guys get a quick breath so that they can get out there and start tearing it up. And while they finish up, we're going to take a deep breath. We are going to need it here in just a few moments once these guys go green flag racing. The Radical SR8s, they are just extremely fun to watch, and you will notice that they do not split up very much. They have so much downforce, they punch a huge hole in the air. These guys can be as much as we've seen 7/10 of a second back at Daytona and Talladega, and when they're ready, they just suck right back up to the rest of the field. There is a lot of draft, but like we saw at Pocono, when you get off the super speedways and get on something different, these cars can actually affect each other's air. You can get up under the rear wing, move back and forth, and cause somebody to get loose coming through a turn. We saw a couple guys pull that trick off at Pocono. Will we see that tonight? These cars are really good on flat tracks. We didn't see a lot of that at Indy, but we did see some. Another thing is with NASCAR and other cars, you see them apex the corner, go from the outside wall to the center of the corner, back to the outside wall. These cars have so much downforce they will stick on the bottom line all the way around the track. We've seen that at Indy as well. They just don't need to drift up to build speed or momentum. That's going to make this extremely exciting because these guys have to try and make a pass on the outside, which does require drafting help. And of course, these cars are small. We saw 3 and 4 wide at Daytona. We saw 4 and 5 wide at Talladega. How big is it going to be here tonight? Will we see on that front straightaway the entire 16 car field spread out? It is hard to know what's about to happen, folks. If you have a favorite driver, drop their name in the chat. We'll definitely try and get a good look at them tonight, see what they're up to, and follow them around a little bit. And of course, as always, we will hop in the car once they get green flag racing. We'll hop in one of these cars that's mid-pack and follow them around the track for a little bit. And it is time for them to line up. Here they go. There is the number 91 of Tom Land, Mark Belair to the outside. James Johnson and Gerald Poole are in the next row. There is Gerald Thanos Poole, and then Christopher Rawlings and Matt Stewart are in the next row. Right behind them is Ironman Chris Standridge alongside Brian Mansfield, and then Belair, Edward Belair in the 007. And Dwayne Kenner in the 15, the 333 of Corey Goodall's back there as well. Superman Norman Chan back there in the 5 car. He is starting in 12th. Micah Thomas in the 14, starting in 13th. James Belair is 14th. Doug McLaughlin is 15th. And the 11 of Doug Thomas and Michael Graynolds rounds out your field. There is Michael Graynolds. A little bit different paint scheme tonight. We will have to remember that one. All right, as they pace around, heading down into the tunnel turn. Take a deep breath. It's going to get wild. They will be 3, 4, and 5 wide. I would not be surprised to see them 4 wide through here. All right, folks, get your drink ready, get your water, get some popcorn, settle in. This is going to get crazy. While they're pacing, I will remind you, go like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel, and the Facebook page. They are all linked on the Facebook page. You can find those links in the description. Go check us out. Make sure you tune in for all the racing throughout the week. But right now, it is SR8s at Pocono. Been looking forward to this one for a couple of weeks now, and green flag is in the air. It looks like Mark Belair got a huge jump on that start to the outside, and here comes Gerald Thanos Poole to the lead early. As they come down through turn one now, they have 40 laps here tonight. Oh, looks like the 91 caught the grass and spun. Caution is out. We've got a couple other cars collected. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. All right, we have the 91 there on the left side. The 39 is right behind him, and the 01 is right behind him. Let's see what happened here. Looks like he got down on the rumble strip and just caught the left front of his nose. I do believe that, yes, that was the 01 that got sent to the inside wall and looked like he had to tow and get a fast repair. And that brings us under our first caution on lap 1. Kind of surprised by that, to be perfectly honest. Now here comes an interesting question. If you've been watching these boys for a few weeks, you'll know that Thanos there, he's had a couple instances of running out of fuel, but it hasn't slowed him down. He is still chasing down the lead, tries to lead from the word go. And he's quite strong in these Radical SR8, so we'll see if it pays off tonight being up front with 40 laps, which is a couple laps more than they run on some of these smaller tracks. We'll see if he can save any fuel here. We're also going to see here in just a moment if they are doing fast cautions or not. Now, Christopher Rawlings was on pit road. He was wrecked out, had to get a tow, which is going to take a couple minutes. He's going to fall a lap down, but it will be easy to get that lap back because of the length of the pace laps. Well, they'll be doing the laps very quickly under green flag conditions. The caution laps take quite a bit of time. And we're seeing a lot of cars on pit road, including Thanos. That comes as a surprise to see so many cars on pit road so early. They're definitely working that tire strategy. It looks like number 15, Dwayne Kenner, is going to assume the lead. He is the first car not to pit. Doug Thomas and Chris Standridge, Corey Goodall, Edward Belair, and Doug McLaughlin all stay out. So we'll see if their strategy pays off. If they go green from here, it may end up biting them. And as you heard Chris talk about in the pre-race, make sure to be here tomorrow night. You do not want to miss the banger race. They're going to have 3-car teams on the track. One car acts as a rabbit to go and score laps. The other 2 cars act as blockers, trying to wreck each other and prevent the other teams from scoring any points. We will be broadcasting that race live. We will be listening into race chat as well, which will definitely be a little bit different. And definitely looking forward to watching this. Jim Johnson, yeah, they definitely stopping for fuel. We'll see if you guys that stopped, if that's going to pay off or not. Be interesting to see how many laps they can go. We know at Daytona and Talladega, which are both 2.5-mile tracks, you can make it right at 35 laps as long as you're not leading. But as has happened with Thanos a couple of times, he's been leading, led every lap out front, breaking the air for everybody else. Everybody else seems to save some fuel, and he does not as we get the 1 to green. And speaking of Thanos, if you missed it in the pre-race, I'm a huge Iron Man fan, so I have to show this off. And I'll probably do it a couple times. Yep, that's an Iron Man helmet. His car is painted like Iron Man's helmet. And then you've got Thanos up here with his Infinity Stones. So there could be problems on track. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't show Superman. He is here to help as well. And we have the leader currently, the number 15 of Dwayne Kenner, Doug Thomas, due to not stopping, is in second. He started in 16th and is up to second just by not pitting. That might pay off down the line. We'll have to wait and see if fuel mileage becomes an issue. These guys that pitted may have the advantage, but if fuel does not come into play, this will get interesting. As they come down the final straightaway, they're going to go through turn 3, and the green flag will fly. And will we see him go 5 wide? And green flag is in the air. And we're looking 3 wide, 4 wide back there maybe. As we go off into turn 1, they are going to stay 3 wide. They've got a lot of downforce, so they can make it stick, but that outside line I don't think is going to be working really well this early. And they're 4 wide coming off of turn 1, but they make it stick. Everybody gets around. Coming down the second straightaway, we've still got 2 distinct lines. They're 3 wide mid-pack. Coming through the tunnel turn, they're 3 wide, beating and banging. Looked like the 333 of Corey Goodall was sliding around there in the middle and managed to make it work. He got to move forward, but he does have some damage to his rear wing. And we've got somebody coming to pit road. Looks like it is Mark Belair on pit road in the number 52, excuse me. There is Mark. Wonder if he is stopping for fuel or a black flag, not sure, but be careful down there below the rumble strip, boys. That does not work out very well. Catch that? No, oh, we're getting a little dicey back there just behind the leaders. And we've got one car to the outside. Looked like he was starting to actually gain a little momentum. Three wide coming out of turn 2 at Pocono. How many other times are you going to hear that said? 3 wide in turn 2 at Pocono. I don't think it's ever been said and stayed green for sure. And they are 3 wide all the way around the track. And it looks like we've got another one. I believe that is Corey Goodall coming to pit road. Yes, it is. But back up front, these guys are all within less than a second of each other. Michael Graynolds is just over a second back. They are all still in the draft. They are 3 wide, 3 deep. Oh, caution! And we've got a wreck. Looks like Superman got in trouble. Got several cars in the outside wall at turn 1. Caution is out. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. I can tell you. Trying to see who it was that got this thing started here. All right, we will focus on the 5 car of Superman Norman Chan, see if we can catch what happened here. Looks like we were 1 lap too early. As they go off into turn 1, 3 wide. And it looks like we had a couple cars get together and just went up into the wall. Looks like Michael Graynolds was collected, Superman was collected, James Belair. Several other cars in the wall in turn 1. And that brings us under our second caution of the night. Looks like James Belair is on pit road. Superman's probably going to need some repairs as well. Dwayne Kenner in the 15 manages to stay in the lead. And those guys that stopped just a few laps ago for fuel, we'll see if that, see if the ones that didn't, like the 15, like the 11 and the 2, we'll see if these guys duck down pit road right now. It looks like Brian Mansfield did pit on the last caution. And yes, we are seeing that. Well, no, just one. No, here they come. Several of these guys are coming down pit road. I know we're going to see, oh, almost had a wreck on pit entry. Several of these guys ducking down pit road, and that is going to relinquish the lead to the number 11. That is Doug Thomas. And as we've said, if you have a favorite driver, definitely drop their name in the chat. We will make sure to call them out and get a good look at them, as it looks like I believe the 01 is getting his lap back. Yes, he will be back as Mark Belair. That'll put him back on the lead lap, so everybody will be on the lead lap when they restart. And we've got about 3 different pit strategies going here right now. We've got Doug Thomas and Chris Standridge. Both have not pitted yet. Brian Mansfield, James Johnson, Micah Thomas, Gerald Danos Poole, and Christopher Rawlings pitted about 7 laps ago. And then we've got everybody that pitted this time. Dwayne Kenner, Doug McLaughlin, Matt Stewart, Edward Belair, Tom Land, Michael Graynolds, and Superman Norman Chan. Should be getting the 1 to green this time by. Just 10 laps into this 40 lap event. Nobody is out yet. It looks like Mark Belair in the 52 will be a lap down when they restart. If they get another caution, he should get his lap back. There is the 52. See if we can get a little closer. There he is. He was involved in that accident, and I believe it totaled his car. Had to get a tow, and that's how he ended up 1 lap down. One lap to green around this tricky triangle. Doug Thomas is one we usually see sneak to the front late in the race. Kind of surprised to see him up here at the front now. Chris Standridge, he is always a top contender, but we've got several of these guys like Michael Thomas in the 14. See if we can get a better look at him. He is running that, Who was it that we used to have another driver running the same paint scheme, but he is running that, I guess you'd call it a tie-dye paint scheme. He is currently up to 5th, started 13th. Right behind him, Corey Goodall in the 333. Started in 11th. He is up to 7th. Got a few of these guys further back just due to the pit stops. All the positions have shuffled around just a bit. But Doug Thomas will lead them down with the Hooters car of Brian Mansfield to the outside. And Brian has 2 laps fresher tires than Doug Thomas and Chris Standridge. And here they go. Green flag is in the air, and it looks like Brian gets a little bit better start as they come down the front straightaway. They are not fanning out quite as wide this time by. Oh, we've got another wreck. It looks like Iron Man was involved. All right, we've got the 22 there on the inside right behind Doug Thomas. And behind him is Michael Thomas. So let's see what happened. Looks like Michael just got into the right rear of Iron Man and spun him around. Michael ended up in the wall and smashed up pretty good. Looks like Chris Standridge might be okay. And looks like Superman Norman Chan might have been caught up again, but he is rolling. And that brings us under caution again. All right, Superman catching back up to the field. And that will give Brian Mansfield, we saw him get a good jump on that start. It looks like Matt Stewart in the 07 is on pit road. I did not see if he was collected. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the back end of his car. See if we can get a better look at it. Yep, he had some damage. It looks as if it's been repaired. And he is coming back out, and you see Tom Land in the 91. Looks like he was caught up as well. And he's got a substantial amount of damage there. Looks like mostly to the rear wing, so he may be okay. And I don't know. Let's see if we can figure out what just happened. Looks like something might have broke on the 2 car of Brian Mansfield. I am not sure what happened there. Try and take it back just a little bit. It's unusual to see one of these guys lose it under caution, but oh, I see. His right rear was all sorts of messed up. He was fighting it all the way onto pit road. Good job keeping it out of traffic, Brian. Looks like Brian is still fighting it, trying to get it onto pit road. He finally gets it in his pit stall. I'm sorry, that was Michael Thomas, not Brian Mansfield. Either way, good job on his part saving that car, getting it down there safely. Managed to keep it out of traffic. This is going to get really interesting before too much longer. We saw them earlier spread out all the way across the front straightaway. One lap to green. Will they do it on the restart? That front straightaway is actually wide, one of the widest in all of NASCAR and these big tracks in general. You've seen Cup cars go 4 and 5 wide down that front straightaway. These cars being smaller and almost half the width, they could go 6, 7, even 8 wide, and it would not surprise me to see that coming to the checkered flag tonight. Fastest lap so far tonight has been the 39 of James Johnson. There you see James on the outside. And he actually was substantially faster than just about everybody else. Coming through the field with that draft, you can pick up a lot of speed, but he was 4/10 of a second faster. Currently, the biggest mover is the 11 of Doug Thomas. He started in 16th. He is up to 4th based on pit strategy. And managing to hold his position. Green flag is in the air, and James Johnson is there on the outside. Tried to get a good jump. He's not letting the 2-car of Brian Mansfield get away from him yet, and they are spreading out on the front straightaway, trying to get any position they can, get any draft they can. Almost 3 wide into 1 again. As you see, here comes Thanos to the inside. That is Gerald Poole. And they are 3 wide down the straightaway. Get through the tunnel turn. Everybody manages to make it stick this time. But now you see these 3 up front, Gerald Poole, Brian Mansfield, and James Johnson leading that front row. There's some of these guys further back that are going to come charging up through the field. Guys like Superman Norman Chan back there in the 5-car. They have a lot of room to work in the draft at this track, as you see them spread out 4 wide down the front straightaway. Oh, don't go into turn 1 4 wide, boys. Oh, and had a little bump. It looks like they might save it. Yes, they keep going straight. I do believe that was the 11 that was sliding around. Yeah, that was the 11 of Doug Thomas that just got bumped all the way to the outside wall, manages to maintain speed, saves it, and is still going. Everybody, great job. That was a great save by everybody. It looks like Doug Thomas might be struggling with his handling now, though, as he's got people looking to the inside and the outside. 3 wide through 3, and we've got a wreck in turn 3. And we've got a car flipping in turn 3. Caution is out. All right, looks like coming through turn 3, we've got the two sets of cars going 3 wide here. And it looked like, I do believe that is James Johnson just got into the back of James Belair a little bit. That brought us under caution and badly damaged both cars. Looked like James Johnson also went for a little bit of a ride there. And we've got both cars currently on pit road. It looks like James Johnson will be off momentarily. Couple cars back there. It looks like Corey Goodall and that is the number 90 of James Belair coming off pit road after getting his repairs. And here they come out of turn 3. I don't know how many cars we will see hit pit road. They are almost halfway. They should be able to, if they stop this time, should be able to go the distance. Your leader earlier, Brian Mansfield, is on pit road. Looks like Doug Thomas in the 11 is on pit road. Superman Norman Chan is on pit road. And that relinquishes the lead back to Thanos. Gerald Thanos Poole back up in the lead. There he is with his Infinity Stones, but right behind him to save the day will be Iron Man. 22 of Chris Standridge. Behind them is, of course, the 15, Dwayne Kenner, currently running in third place. Doug McLaughlin is in the 21 behind them. And, of course, the 007 of Belair, James Belair. The 01 of Christopher Rawlings is currently in 6th, right behind them in his Death Wish coffee car. Number 2 Hooters car, driven by Brian Mansfield, is in 7th, and the leader of the Michael Graynolds SR8 series himself, Michael Graynolds, there in the 45. He was caught up earlier and has worked his way back up to 8th. He started in 17th, so he's made up quite a bit of ground, and he is always one that hides out in the back for quite a while, and then suddenly he's at the front at the end of the race. He's up there when it counts, so look forward to seeing him up at the front, especially with all this 4 wide insanity and 5 wide and 3 wide through every corner. I'd imagine he'll be one that finds his way sneaking back up in there. Behind him is a 52 of Mark Belair. Coming alongside him there is the 07, that is Matt Stewart. And of course, Superman Norman Chan in the 5, Doug Thomas in the 11 car. And my understanding is that Mr. Thomas is responsible for all the infield tires that you have hit when you're dirt racing. Those are called Doug tires. Have not heard the whole story on that one. Should have asked Chris about that for the podcast. There is the number 90 of James Belair. He is currently in 13th. 39 car, James Johnson, currently in 14th, and behind him there is Michael Thomas. As we have 1 to green, we will hop back up front. Thanos and Iron Man side by side. Hey, Richie, yes, this is exciting racing, especially when they come back down the front straightaway on their first green flag lap. They spread out 4 and 5 wide. It gets crazy, to say the least. And don't forget to check out the Facebook page. We have some exciting racing coming this Friday night, community races for everybody. And make sure to tune in to we are live on Twitch and Facebook. We also have a YouTube channel. The racing will be on YouTube later tonight. As they come out of turn 3, the pace car will drop off and Thanos will lead them to the green flag. Just over 20 laps to go. They should be able to go the distance from here. Green flag is in the air. Gerald Poole gets a little bit of a jump down the front straightaway. And here they come. They're starting to spread out. They're being a little more tame. Starting, saw him 3 wide there for a moment. A couple of guys backed off. No, they're not. There they went. You got the 2 car of Brian Mansfield way out there to the outside right now. Right outside of Doug Thomas. As they come into the tunnel turn, only 2 wide this time. Oh! Got one spinning, another crash, this time in the tunnel turn. That brings us out under caution. I do believe this all started with the 21, Doug McLaughlin. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. Looked like Doug just turned down a little bit, and when he bumped the car to the inside, it spun him around, collected several cars, including what looks to be Doug Thomas. I believe the 2 car of Brian Mansfield was collected. And possibly the 333 of Corey Goodall. Hey, welcome to the chat, John. Or welcome back, I should say. All right, as they reach the halfway point of the race, they can go the distance on fuel from here. Currently still have Gerald Poole up front, Chris Standridge second, Christopher Rawlings third, Dwayne Kenner is in fourth, and Michael Graynolds. Let's take a look there at Michael Graynolds in the 45. He is the biggest mover of the night. Started in 17th. He's all the way up to 5th already. And he stopped 14 laps ago, so it's going to be close on fuel for him. That'd be about 33 laps. These cars do about 35 laps at Daytona and Talladega, so I would imagine it's going to be pretty close for these guys as well. "10 out of 10 for sticking the landing." Yes, they are definitely sticking the landing tonight. These guys have had some great, definitely some great flight. And we've mentioned it before, these cars are not the highest horsepower cars, but they have so much downforce that they have said in their wind tunnel testing, they have proven that these cars could theoretically be driven upside down at speed with a driver and a full load of fuel and stick. That's how much downforce they generate. That's also how they're able to draft up to each other from such great distances. We've seen them as much as 0.7 of a second back at Daytona and Talladega and just come flying back up to the lead pack when it counts. Now, Gerald Poole stopped just 20 laps ago on the first caution. That was his last pit stop. Christopher Rawlings stopped on that last pit, or on that stop as well. They topped off for fuel a ways back. The question is going to be, will Gerald be able to save enough fuel to go the distance? We know he's run out of fuel a couple of times recently. Last week he managed to conserve some fuel, lay back a little bit, but he is not laid back at all tonight. He has been going full bore. So we'll see if he can make his fuel last to the end, or will he lead every lap but the one that counts. As we get the one to green, these guys line up. Looks like Brian Mansfield is out of the race for tonight. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the banger racing. Again, as we talked about before the race, they will have two different car types and 3-car teams. One car will be the Rabbit going out scoring the laps. The other 2 cars will be blocking and trying to take out the other teams. That will definitely be some exciting racing to call. You definitely do not want to miss that adventure. It's an idea that came from Europe and they modified it and making it work here. As they come down the third straightaway, go into turn 3, they will be going green as soon as that pace car ducks off. And we are over halfway. We've had several cautions. Will they be playing it safe? I imagine some of these guys will take it easy for about 10 laps. We've got most of the field still here. Only 3 cars are currently out. So I imagine some of these guys are going to play it safe, trying to make it down to the last 5 laps, and then it will get really crazy. One thing that gave me quite a laugh as they take the green flag, as Chris Standridge said before the race, don't worry, the first part of our races are boring. No, they're never boring. I've never sat a dull moment under green flag with these guys. As they come through turn 1, and yep, nope, they're not being careful. There are 3 wide coming out of turn 1 down the back straightaway. I believe that was the 11 of Doug Thomas way up there by the outside wall. Looks like he has gotten his car fixed up from the earlier incident where he ended up, in the outside wall. Doug Thomas has got quite a run. As we talked about a moment ago, they get a lot of draft out of these cars and a lot of side draft as well. If you can use that side draft in these cars, it makes a heck of a difference as they come down the line. Doug Thomas is out there in that outside line trying to make it work. He had quite a run coming from way back on the restart to move up to about 5th, 6th place. Cannot make it work on the outside in turn 1, but wondering, we've seen him up there most of the night. I'm wondering if that's part of his strategy. In the meantime, out front, you've got the 25 of Gerald Thanos Poole and the 22 of Chris Ironman Standridge. Caution is out. Looks like we've got just a car off on the back straightaway in the tunnel turn. And looks like the 07 just comes up and gives him a little bit of a tap. He manages to save it, but the caution comes out. The banger race is what we were talking about earlier. They'll have 3-man teams. If I remember correctly, let me look it up real quick. I believe they're using let me see here. They will be using the Legends cars. And that will be the Rabbit. Then they're going to have 2 bangers, the Street Stocks. Their job is to hunt down the other team's rabbits and kill them and protect their own rabbit. Damage is on and cars get 4 quick repairs. So that is going to be that is going to be insane, and you're not going to want to miss that tomorrow night. And there is Mike Smith. Loves this track, and you're wrong, Mike. You're just wrong, man. This track would be fun in these cars, but anything else, it's just a nightmare. Now, will Thanos pull in and get fuel this time? 15 laps to go. Look like he was thinking about it, but he's going to try and stretch it out. And of course, let's take another look at the Iron Man paint job. Yes, that is Iron Man's helmet. That's cool. And of course, you have Thanos with his Infinity Stones. "14 laps to go." I think Gerald pitted 25 laps ago. Chris Rawlings pitted 26 laps ago. So on that very first caution lap, they pitted. They probably have had enough caution laps now to go the distance. Gerald Poole has had some bad luck when it comes to the fuel. Last week he had a top 3 finish by playing it a little bit safer. But tonight he is not playing it safe at all. "14 laps to go as they come through the tunnel turn." They should get the 1 to go when they cross the start-finish line. And again, we have 3 cars that are out of the race. Looks like Brian Mansfield, Corey Goodall, and Tom Land are done for the evening, unfortunately. All 3 of them are guys that can win at any time, always run in the front, so it might be a decent points shakeup tonight. And let's see, the fastest lap so far tonight has been turned by this man, the number 39 of James Johnson, which actually comes as a surprise because the way that the 11 car of Doug Thomas was coming through the field earlier, he came charging through there. But he is restarting in 6th. We'll see if he can get, last time he picked up several positions on the restart. We'll see if he can pull that trick off again. Hey, thank you, John. Yeah, this is some great racing. And it's definitely crazy watching these guys go 3 wide for an entire lap like they did earlier in the race, and like I fully expect them to do, because when they restart, they'll have just about 11 laps to go. Another interesting point was watching the 21 Doug McLaughlin. All that downforce really paid off. That last caution, he got tapped, got sideways, and still manages to save it. Going through the grass, hit the pavement, and got it turned back the right way. That was one heck of a save, man. Come out of turn 3, pace car drive down pit road, and we will see if these guys are any more patient this time around, or are they just going to get crazy from the green flag drop is in the air. Thanos gets a bit of a jump over Iron Man. And they stay 2 wide down the front straightaway. Kind of a surprise. Looks like they are going to play it a little bit patient this time. Looks like Dwayne Kenner and Chris Rawlings, some of these guys right behind that lead pack, they are getting right up on them. Looks like the 01 of Christopher Rawlings is actually pushing Thanos down the straightaway. All right, we're going to give this a try. We're going to, let's see, let's pick a car, any car. Why don't we look at the 15 of Dwayne Kenner? We're going to take a ride along with them as they come out of turn 3. You can hear he has to let up out of the gas just to not run into the back of Iron Man here as they come down the front straightaway. That was the start-finish line. They are headed off into turn 1. We'll see if anybody pops up to the outside of him. We've seen the 11 running way up high, and he is right behind, so it would not surprise me to see the 11 car come to the outside. You see Thanos down on the inside line. You see the run he gets right there. These cars get a lot of side draft. They can use that side draft really well. And they are pushing Iron Man to the front as we go into the tunnel turn, but it is Thanos coming out of the tunnel turn, and they are getting a little squirrely. He's been out there for 22 laps on these tires. These flat tracks are a little bit harder on tires, but that was a bit of a surprise seeing him move around this much. And as they come back out of turn 3, he is looking to go up. Nope, he backs out of it. He was looking like he was going to try and make a run up the middle, but thinks better of it. And that is a lap around Pocono and a Radical SR8 as they come down the front straightaway 3 wide. I do believe that is the 39 of James Johnson there to the outside, and right behind Iron Man now it looks like it is Dwayne Kenner in the 15. 3 wide through the tunnel turn. Now we'll see 10 laps to go. Coming to 9 laps to go. We will see just how crazy these guys get. 3 wide through turn 3 is not a surprise, but I would expect to see 4 wide through there before too long. And we've got one coming up the middle. That is the 11, Doug Thomas. Oh! Caution is out. The 11 is caught up. Didn't see who else. We'll have to take a look at the replay. I do believe, looking at this, it was Iron Man that got caught up by the number 11. Looks like they were both side drafted and just got a little too close, and that's what happens. And Doug Thomas did stick the landing on that one, John. And looks like he's still running. I do believe he used his fast repair earlier. We will see if he can get back out. And hop back to the front of the field. Gerald Thanos Poole still trying to catch up to the pace car. 8 laps to go. He should be able to make it. He's been out, him and Christopher Rawlings have been out there the longest, 31 and 32 laps respectively. Dwayne Kenner, 25 laps. And then you got James Johnson, Michael Thomas, 12 and 22. Mark Belair's been 28 laps. Edward Belair's been 12. Michael Grainold's back there in the 45. He has been out there for 25 laps. Doug McLaughlin, Norman Chan, both about 13 to 14 laps. Matt Stewart in the 07, pitted on that last caution 7 laps ago. I believe he and the 21 of Doug McLaughlin were the two that got together. So he probably got a little damage repaired. James Belair and Doug Thomas, 17 and 13 laps ago, respectively. Chris Standridge, obviously, he had been out there just as long as Thanos. He is on pit road getting repairs, trying not to lose a lap here. See if he makes it back out. Yeah, he is going to make it back out. Should be able to catch back up, be on the lead lap. He'll have 4 fresh tires and a full load of fuel. Now let's see if anybody else takes the... Nope, nobody else is going to pit. Looking back to the back, Superman stays out as well. All right, 7 laps to go. Let's see, they should get the 1 to go next time by. That'll put them at 6 to go. So they'll go green with 5 laps to go. That will be a little bit crazy. I fully expect them to use a green-white checkered before the night is out. And these guys, a lot of cars, you have to attack all 3 corners of this track differently. With these cars, you really don't. You're just drive it in there, it'll stick and keep going. The only time we've seen them bobble a little bit, like a lot of cup cars, trucks, everything else, turn 3, just get, it's the flattest of them. It's only 6 degrees of banking like the Milwaukee Mile, so they do get a little bit loose and can struggle. During the ride along, we saw the 15 of Dwayne Kenner getting a little bit loose through there. Looks like the 11 of Doug Thomas decided to go ahead and make a pit stop. Yep, he was banged up pretty good. But he is managing to stay on the lead lap at the moment. As they come out of turn 3, we should be getting the 1 to go. Yes, we did. We got the 1 to green. They will line up side by side. They will restart with 5 laps to go. Catch your breath, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get wilder. It's been wild already tonight. We've got 4 cars out of the race right now. It looks like Doug Thomas still on pit road getting some repairs. And the 22 of Ironman, Chris Standridge, is back there currently in 13th. We will see if he can get back to the front to battle Thanos in the next 5 laps. Right now, the biggest mover so far tonight has been Michael Thomas in the 14. And he's been caught up in a couple of different issues, but there he is. Currently running in 5th in that tie-dye car. He started in 13th. Right beside him on the outside line is the 14 of Dwayne Kenner. He started in 10th. He's currently running in 4th. And I think the biggest mover is the 45 of Michael Graynolds. There's Michael there on the outside. He started in 17th. He's up to 8th, and I don't think he's done yet. But will anybody be able to get around Thanos here at the end? He does have a lighter fuel load as the green flag drops. And make his car just a little bit lighter. That might be the slight advantage he needs. Both cars on the outside line have been out for at least 25 laps, or both cars up front, so we'll see if that makes any difference. They're getting really dicey back there. Coming into the tunnel turn, everybody's settling down just a little bit too wide. Looks like Superman Norman Chan's way up high. As they start to look 3 wide going into turn 3. And now they're getting dicey. Coming to 4 to go. Looks like they're 3 wide on the front straightaway. Thanos 4 wide. Oh, we've got one smoking was hard on his brakes. Looked like that might have been Christopher Rawlings that drifted up, had to get on the brakes really hard going into turn 1. Probably checking up to make sure he didn't run anybody over, and you get such a run that you catch up to these cars faster than you realize. And they're in the middle, 3 rows back. That is the 22, Chris Standard, aka Iron Man. Last time by, he was scored in 8th, but he has picked up a couple more positions since then. He is looking right up the middle. Coming out of turn 3, they start to fan out. We've got one spinning down to the inside. No caution, he cleared the track. Looks like Christopher Rawlings was the one who spun coming off turn 3. He will be out of contention, but 3 laps to go, 3 wide into turn 1. And they are starting to move all over the track, trying to get any advantage they can as they come down to the tunnel turn. 2 wide, starting to make it 3 wide through the tunnel turn. And right there to the outside, there is Iron Man. He's got help behind him. No, he does not have help. They're looking 4 wide going into turn 3. Easy, boys. This may not end well. They are 4 wide. Thanos drifts up just a little bit. There's the 15, Dwayne Kenner, to the outside. And Chris Standridge on the way outside. And we've got one moving really high on the outside. Almost touching going into turn 1. Looks like that was Edward Belair on the far outside. They are still 3 wide, but they're tucked up nose to tail and side to side. They're leaning on each other coming down the straightaway. Going into the tunnel turn, they are 3 wide again. It looked like the 15 and the 22 tapped, but we've got a wreck behind. Caution is out. Looks like we will go to a green-white checkered finish. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Looks like you've got the 11 back there. Just got a little wobbly coming through the turn and got into somebody and got it straightened out, but the caution still came out. If that was the racing with 5 laps to go, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do on a green-white checkered. And looky there, it is the 22 of Chris Iron Man Standridge back up in being scored in 2nd place when the caution came out. We'll see if that holds when they get to the start-finish line, but it looks like he might be scored in 3rd, but he is right back up there at the front. Hey, Iron Man, you got me?
I got you.
I'm out of breath. This has been wild, but
it's been yellow the whole time.
yeah. So you managed to work your way back up from 13th to scoring you in 2nd, but I think you're actually going to be in 3rd as we call it. Yep.
Yeah.
So are you going to be able to get around Thanos here?
I like where I'm at, actually. This is a good spot. This is where I'm gonna hold back just a tiny little bit and see if I can get a really good run coming off that last turn.
Just be careful. We've seen a lot of wibbly wobbly stuff coming off of turn 3. That's where everybody seems to struggle right now.
Well, the trick is to leave a little bit of room in front of Gerald, in front of me, between me and Gerald, but not too much because somebody will try to put a car in there.
Yes, we have seen that quite a bit tonight.
If I can get here on the back stretch and leave about as much room as what I've got right now, and then just hold the gas down all the way around, it should give me enough to slingshot around them. Then I just got to watch Dwayne and see what he does.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, that was Iron Man Chris Standridge in that number 22 car, getting ready to restart here on a green-white checkered, and oh my goodness, what a race this has been. We have had some pace laps, but every green flag lap has been non-stop action. They have been 3 wide all the way around the track all night long. Well, there have been a couple of laps where half a lap they were only 2 wide, but 3 wide through the tunnel turn, you just can't do it in most cars. These cars you can, and it looks insane. But these guys are doing a great job of holding it. We've seen a couple of guys have some remarkable saves. Saw Doug Thomas in the 11 have one heck of a save early in the race, got all the way up, got loose coming through one, all the way up to the outside wall, came back down. Everybody around him gave him room. He saved it. They kept going and stayed green. That was some truly impressive driving. We've seen the 21, Doug McLaughlin. He had one heck of a recovery as well. Several of these guys that have been almost completely sideways and just turned it back around. As we get the 1 to green, we've got one way back there, the 07 of Matt Stewart, looks like. He's hanging out way back there in the back. Let's see if he's got any damage. A little bit of front splitter damage, not too bad. That might be the safest place to be there, Matt. We'll have to see here in a few moments. As they come out of turn 1 on their pace laps, everybody's starting to sort it out. No, Matt, don't pull back up there. You're not going to be safe, buddy. As they come through the tunnel turn, nobody warming up your tires. You don't have to do that in these cars. They've got so much grip. Definitely go check out the Facebook, the Twitch, the YouTube channels, and don't forget to check out the podcast. The link to it is on Facebook. The podcast was Monday, has an interview with Iron Man Chris Standridge. Coming out of turn 3, the pace car will drop off momentarily. Green flag is in the air for the final time. 2 laps to go. Chris Standridge is right there behind Gerald Poole, exactly what he planned to do. But I think somebody else has a different idea. We've got cars coming up the middle. Here they come through turn 1. We've got some really charging to the front there. Here comes Dwayne Kenner way up high to the outside. There is the 007 of Edward Belair. You saw him come charging through the field on that restart. He is all the way up there in second. Chris might have his hands full here. Dwayne Kenner is way up on the outside. Coming to the white flag. And looks like we've got 4 distinct lines going down the front straightaway. They're going to settle into 3 going into turn 1. 3 lines, 3 wide. Edward Belair gets tapped in the back and spun. Big wreck in behind, but we're going to stay with the leaders. 1 lap to go. Sorry, final lap as they go down into the tunnel turn. Will Chris Standridge have enough? And coming up behind him, it looks like that might be Michael Reynolds in the 45. Yep, Michael is closing up. Here comes Chris Standridge's move to the outside. Coming out of turn 3, they are side by side. Thanos has a bit of an advantage. Chris is trying to get a draft. He's got Michael Reynolds to the outside. 3 wide down the front straightaway to the checkers. It's going to be, it looks like it was Iron Man for the win. Chris Standridge wins. Holy cow. What a finish. Big wreck in turn 1, but they managed to keep it going. The front few keep coming. Michael Reynolds comes through the wreck, manages to get up there. He finishes second. It's Chris Standridge third. Chris Standridge wins. Gerald Poole second. Michael Reynolds from 17th to 3rd tonight. Doug McLaughlin fourth. He started in 15th. 5th place, James Johnson, James Belair, Matt Stewart, Edward Belair, Michael Thomas, and Chris Rawlings round out your top 10. And now Chris Standridge will come around to the front straightaway and get some help from everybody else celebrating. Wow. I expected a side-by-side battle for the win, but that was insane. I cannot believe the run that Michael Reynolds had coming down the front coming out of turn 3. All right, there we go. Thanos got him. Oh, gets a little help. He is upside down. Oh, no, he's stuck on his roof. Somebody needs to come back around and get him flipped back over. There we go. Oh, he's on all 4. He stuck the landing. Somebody's got to fix that. Oh, there we go. And this is a great thing about these Outcast boys, the way they celebrate. Hey, Chris, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
Dude, that was one of the best celebrations I've ever seen, but I gotta ask. Yeah, I gotta ask you, right there at the end, it looked like you were gonna get some help from Michael coming through turn 3, and then suddenly he jumps to the outside. Were you worried about him getting past you there?
Yes, I was. In fact, I just told him, I was like, I thought about blocking you, but I thought it would cause a wreck there, and I wasn't going to do that. So I decided to give it a chance, and I got really lucky. I didn't see who it was, but whoever that was in 4th, they were the one who decided who won the race, and they're the one who he came up behind me, fortunately, and pushed me through.
It looked like it was Doug McLaughlin, and by the way, epic yeet there on the back straightaway. We're going to watch that one again. That's impressive.
That was fun.
I imagine it was.
It was good being up there with Michael and Gerald. It's a lot of fun when we run together up there.
And I got to ask, there was the big wreck behind you, and that kind of eliminated several cars there at the end. Were you worried about anybody that ended up being involved in that wreck?
I just saw all of a sudden it cleared out on my screen, and I guess there was a wreck. So I told Gerald, I came over the radio and said, "Hey, Thanos, just you and me now." I didn't think the other guys would catch up to us, and as you saw, I kind of backed off a little bit because I wanted to get that run, and then then they caught up to us.
Yeah, and that definitely made it interesting there at the end. Congratulations, Chris. Great win.
Thank you. All right.
Hey, Thanos, you come home second, but at least you came home you didn't run out of gas, buddy.
Nope, we didn't run out of gas, and I swear I did not snap my fingers during the entirety of that race.
That's 2 weeks in a row you've not run out of gas. So this is a trend where you're finishing in the top 3 without running out of gas. So that's a good turnaround to early season.
Oh yeah, yeah, we've had a little bit better plan as far as that goes. I kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit there on that first pit stop. I darted in, uh, was speeding quite a bit, so I had to go to the back and worm my way back to the front again. Uh, yeah, I figured that last lap somebody was going to get a run. I was actually planning on a bigger pack there being at the end to for some drafting help. So yeah, we got out. By the time we got on that front stretch, I knew that whoever had somebody behind them was going to be had the advantage. So I just kept it pegged to the floor and hung on for what we got. And like I said, this is the season. It's about points, and I think I checked the results after that. I'm pretty sure the two guys ahead of me had some pretty rough evenings.
Yeah, definitely. I think isn't Brian in front of you?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
points leader.
I think Brian was up on me by 7, and Norm was up on me by 4. So I'm pretty sure that I probably uh, made up more than enough points.
Yeah, Brian came home 15th and Norman came home 12th. I do have to ask, you went 43 laps on fuel. With that green white checkered, were you worried about the fuel?
No, actually, when I took that pit stop where I got caught speeding, I knew I had the black flag. I knew I was going to the back, so I just went ahead and put extra fuel in it and moseyed my way out.
Well, it definitely worked out tonight. Managed to come home second.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Michael, everybody. And yeah, good night. We'll take it.
All right. Hey, it looks like Michael, you jumped in here.
Yes, sir.
Man, I really thought you were going to push Chris there for a minute, and then you came to the outside coming out of three, and for a second there, I really thought you had it. You had one heck of a run, dude.
Well, the guy behind me, I kind of thought he would swing out behind me and I would get it, but he didn't. He chose to go with Chris.
And that one pretty well decided. Well, you had a wild night. You started in 17th. You were involved in an early caution, and then managed to stay out of trouble most of the rest of the night.
I played it pretty conservative because the way they was wrecking, I just figured I'd just kind of hang out in the back and try to dodge the wrecks and see what happens after that. Save it for the end.
Well, it definitely worked out. It's one of your best finishes of the season, so congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well, Chris, you got anything left you want to say, buddy?
Nah, thanks to Michael over there for holding the series, and man, I know there's a lot of yellows tonight, but that was a fun race.
Every green flag lap was nonstop excitement. That was one heck of a show, boys.
Wait till next week when we go to the Monza.
You know, when I saw that one on the schedule, I was really looking forward to Pocono, and then I saw Monza. That's going to be crazy.
Is it forwards or backwards?
The first race is going to be forwards. At the season finale, we're going to run one forwards and one backwards.
Gotcha.
That will be insane. I'm looking forward to that one. You
Yeah,
guys,
me too.
well, you guys go out, celebrate, have a great night. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate everything you do, buddy.
Oh, you're welcome. Great race tonight, guys. All right, and that was first. That was your top three cars for tonight. Great, definitely a great race and a lot of cautions, but the green flag laps were just epic. Heck of a race, and I'm out of breath. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the banger race. That is going to be nonstop excitement as well. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Thanks for coming out. Have a great evening.